Okay, so I started at the Henry's Fork trailhead at about 8:30. I think I left my house at like 7:25 or something like that. I didn't really look at the time. I shut my phone off as soon as I got in the car so I wouldn't save battery. But it's 10:48 right now, and I made it to Elkhorn Crossing. I assumed it was later. I thought it was like noon. And my phone's the only battery I have, or my only clock that I have, so I had to just turn it on to see what time it is. Give you a look at where we're at. There's my gear, my chair. Oh my gosh, that has saved my life right here. It's so comfy. Got my trekking poles and my pack. But up here's the cool part. This is where you go. This is called Elkhorn Crossing. You look at it on the map. If you look right here, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Dollar Lake. Someone wrote Kings Peak on there. Footbridge. That's a bridge across the river. Horse Ford. I don't know anything about that. And then Bear Lake. And that's actually the route you take to get to Bear Lake. And then further up, Henry's Fork Lake, Lake Blanchard, then Cliff Lake. Okay, trail about another mile or so. There's a weasel, big weasel. I've only ever seen the little ones, but let's see if we can get him. He was just right here ahead of me. He came screaming down the trail, stopped and looked at me for a little bit. I heard him pull my phone out and tried to turn it on. By the time it got on, he turned off and went off this side of the trail. He might be curious enough to just stay around. Look at me. This is where he went off. I don't see him. Dang it, that was kind of cool. I mean, I guess it's just a weasel, but he's a big one. I mean, he is long, like a couple feet. But I was debating whether or not to get the camera out anyway, show just this clearing. I come into back there, decided not to, but hell, I guess now that I'm here, might as well show it's a nice big clearing in here. But yep, still on my way up. Got just a few more miles to go. I said about 3 or 4 to where I want to get to. And I'll let you guys know how it's going along the way. Okay, so I'm just a little further from the last video I took. A little bit further ahead from where I just was from that opening. There's a fork in the trail. One side looks very little used, probably by the sheep herders. It doesn't look like it's a foot trail very much. It looks more like a livestock trail. I went up it a ways, probably about 200, 300 yards, and it didn't seem like it was going where I wanted to go, so I went back and took the beaten trail, the one that looks really beaten down, and ended up getting here. So there's a sign. Top of it says Bear Lake to the left, and to the right says Hesse Lake. So Bear Lake tells me I'm right on the path I want to be going to. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that trail. You want to be going on the beaten trail. Don't get off on any livestock things or any game trails. All right, just stopped for lunch at Bear Lake. This is Bear Lake right beneath me. It's a lot bigger than you think, and there's some campgrounds right here. You can tell a bunch of people have camped right next to Bear Lake. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better hike. This is awesome. Up behind me is just rock. It's really cool. As you can see, there's still snow. I'm hitting snow patches all over the place. One thing that's been crazy is the streams are just flowing. It's been a really wet year up here, and there's still snow and plenty of water sources. I've had to cross probably 6 or 7 streams just to get right here. And no, it's a beautiful hike so far, and I'm loving it. So I would recommend this so far. I mean, this, however far in Bear Lake is, I mean, this is not a hard hike at all. There's a little elevation, not a single switchback the whole way, but I mean, I'll see what's ahead of me up getting to Henry's Fork and Lake Blanchard and Cliff Lake. Don't ask me why I ate lunch there, because I guess I got a good shot of Bear Lake right over there from that. It's just open and gorgeous. Oh man, you know, this is what gives you the energy to keep going. I'm doing fine, but for my first hike of the year, really, usually I'm a little bit worse, more rusty, and gosh, just gets you all energized and ready to keep going. That's beauty. But the next beautiful spot, that peak right there, is Gilbert's. And then if you come over that ravine, there's Gunsight Pass. Then you come over to King's Peak right there. Now after that, I'm not really sure. Should I even guess? I think, remembering from the map, that that's Castle Rock or something like that. And then up there, right in that, right underneath it, is Castle Lake. So I don't really have that much further to go right now. I'm not sure what time it is. Oh, it's only 1:20. Gosh, way better time than I thought it would. Yeah, beautiful. It just opens up right here again, and it's gorgeous all the way around. These clouds are just cotton candy clouds. Right. Oh, now the sun goes away. Goes my good lighting. Anyway, there's another lake there. Lighting's terrible. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what lake that is. I'll have to look it up when I get back. Yeah, I'm now. There's that castle. What I thought was that Castle Rock. I'm on the complete other side of that now. And then here's the stream that flows down into this lake from another lake up there. And I don't know if you can see it. There's those 2 snow drifts. Right there is that a waterfall that you can see from when you hike King's Peak. So if you're wondering how big the falls is, it's really not a fall. It's kind of a, I don't know what to call it, but it's not anything. I mean, it's spectacular, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of water flowing through here still. You can see snow, white spots all over these mountains, and even down. I've had to walk through a little bit of snow back that way to get here. Okay, I am almost there. Almost there. And the reason why I know is this. This is where my wife would live if she were born back in 18 Dickety whatever. I'll give you guys a look inside here. Someone's been in here. There's dish soap. Thinking maybe some sheep herders use this or something. Still, you know. I mean, the roof, someone's been taking care of this. There's newer nails in the shingles. But yeah, and then it's kind of a nice little front porch area. You know. And then around here, looks like, I imagine this was another cabin. You know, a lot of these cabins we see up over on Smith's Fork, or Black's Fork and Smith's Fork, have one right next to the other. I have no idea what it was for. I just always assume logging cabins. But yeah, pretty sweet little deal. I thought for sure I had to catch this on video. Let you guys see that. Just passed a lady who said she went up towards Gunsight Pass, but she didn't really feel up to it, so she let her friends just keep going. Oh wow, yeah. There's the other side of that cabin. Yeah, this guy had a view, whoever built this. He had a view, and he must have known what he's doing. Little jawbone right there too. It's likely a fox or coyote. I can't tell. Probably fox. It's a little smaller. But yep, almost there. I think I'm gonna get to the lake and then figure out where I'm gonna set up my tent. The guys told me it only got down to about 32 last night, so I think I'll be okay to sleep. Not necessarily right next to the brush, you know. Let me snap a picture of that too. But I don't know. I'll make that judgment call later. I'll let the future Jed figure that one out. So, yep, this is, you know, it's not an easy hike. No hikes are easy, but it keeps you going. That's for sure. So, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, well, I'll get another video as soon as I'm there. Okay. All right. So, come down off the hill with the cabin, and I usually wait a little longer between videos, but it's too pretty to stop. I made a mistake with that waterfall. I passed Henry's Lake up there, and it was cool. I should have taken a video, but when you come up, that's the waterfall you see from right underneath Gunsight Pass. That's Gunsight. Cliff Lake's right on the other side of that hill. Blanchard's right on top of this one. So I actually, my wife's coming up tomorrow to hike all the way up to Kingston. She's going all the way up and back in a day. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make my way up this trail, getting connected with that other trail, and camp at Dollar Lake. I met some people on the trail. I stopped talking to them. They seemed really nice, and that's where they were camping. And that's what I might do, but it is, I mean, you can't even describe it. It's just, you know, when you're hiking up on that trail, you don't realize how beautiful everything to that you're right underneath is. You see this over here, and you're just in awe. But I mean, hiking in this bowl down in here is, I did try to get over to that waterfall. I did. So the cabin was about right here, and I tried to hike across, but it's so marshy. There's so many streams and things in there. I just was like, you know what, it's not even worth it. So I decided to come back and take the dry route over to here. And gosh, I recommend this to anyone. This is just special. This is an amazing experience. But yeah, I'll make sure I keep you guys posted. It's only 2:45 right now. I was expecting to be at Henry's Lake at about 3, so I'm way past that now. And now I'm just kind of like, well, geez, what am I going to do? I'm not going to set up camp and sit around for 7 hours waiting to go to bed. So I'm going to just keep going and have some fun. And then hopefully I'll be able to, I wasn't thinking about meeting up with my wife, but hopefully I'll catch her on the way out tomorrow. So, okay. Wow. So I'm gassed after that. I was just down in the bottom. I'll show you in just a sec. I was just down in the bottom of this and found a trail that just kind of parallels the top trail. So I finally was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna try to waste time and find a place that goes up. I'm just gonna climb straight up. And so I just came straight up the hill, and whew, that was something. But here's an overview of this. Will probably be one of the last good shots I get. If the sun would stay out, I can't complain. I shouldn't complain. But you can see all the way about where that pond is. Just above that's where I made the last video. And I hiked those trees, back down all the way around, and then up into here where I'm at now. Yeah, Dollar Lake's just right there in that canyon. For the night, just because I know there's good spots to camp. The spots over here were okay, but I just couldn't find anything that I was comfortable with as far as dead trees falling on me in the night. Okay, here we are. Got my tent set up with some good live trees behind it. I cut off a little pine bough as a broom and swept it up. Looks good. Yeah, sorry, I'm sitting here smacking my lips. Probably makes me want to burl. There is, you can see a tent back there. There's nowhere around without a tent, so I just figured, you know what, I'm just gonna have to be around some people. Okay, here's Dollar Lake. Nothing super cool about it. I mean, it's just a shallow yellow water lake. I went above it to see if I could find some water, but it's so bad, I figured I would head somewhere else. I know of a good spring right over this way that I'm gonna go hit up. But yeah, got my tent all set up. I'm ready to eat dinner and go to bed. I'm tired, understandably, but yeah, I can't even count how many. I can't even remember how many lakes I've run across today. I think I videoed about half, so double whatever I videoed, I guess. But oh, here's a good spot. I like to stay away from the water, but someone's come up here and made some benches. Logs on rocks. Yeah, so making more videos than I intended, so I'll end this one a little earlier. But if anybody's wondering what I'm using to filter the water, I'm using a Sawyer little super mini or Sawyer mini, excuse me, filter. I feel comfortable with it as far as getting water out of streams and stuff, but I wouldn't get any lake water or drink any lake water ever. I also keep purification tablets in my survival kit just in case. But here is that spring, so it's right up here. Alrighty, well, I'll check in again later when I'm cooking dinner. These Sawyer filters are a little smaller, but they can be an inline filter with your Camelback if you wanted to fill your Camelback up with dirty water, which I would never do. But they come with this a dirty bag. So what you do, and this stream here, actually I remembered it from the last time I was here. I found it. It's just ground right there. I mean, it's got some willows, but there's no exposed water. This is coming straight out of the ground. I've been told, yeah, you could just drink that, but you know, I'm gonna play it safe every time. But so you fill up your dirty bag with water. No, that's not quite full, and you definitely want to get as much as you can out of it every time. Okay, so then what you do is you take the filter, and there's two ends. They actually have a cap on the clean end, and I try really hard to keep that clean end, the one with the cap, always away from dirty water. But you'll take that and you'll screw it on the dirty end to the dirty water. I'm gonna have to set the camera down for a second. Then you take that. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. You take that, putting the clean end into the new clean bottle, and you squeeze your water through. So it's coming through the dirty bag, through the filter, into the new thing. Now, gunk builds up in there. just like any filter, right? And the nice thing about Sawyer is they provide a plunger. Now what I do with the plunger is I pull up some clean water and I push it. I take the filter off, push clean water through, at least one full plunger full. Then I do a couple airs, shooting it all out. Now that's to help get some of the crap out that builds up into the filter. I don't like to put my mouth on the life straws. It hurts to try to push the water through with your mouth. So that's really nice that Sawyer comes with a plunger syringe setup. So that's how I get clean water up here. I mean, these kinds of things aren't necessarily like, oh yeah, I used it last year and I'm gonna just use it this year. I would recommend getting a new one. I mean, filters get gunk in them, even no matter how well you clean them out, stuff's gonna build up in there. And to me, they're disposable. But some people have said, oh, I've gotten sick. Well, how long did you use your filter? And that's usually the question that tells you how intelligent the person is. So that's how I get clean water, right out of this stream right here, coming right out of the ground. Okay, so this is how I cook. I got my burner, my butane propane mix right there. That heats up the water. And I got a couple other goodies. Then, so I use some of my water. I showed you how I get that. But the noodles and chicken from Mountain House is what I'm having today. You open this up and you pour the boiling water in, close it up, let it sit for, I can't remember, 2 minutes or something, 4 minutes, 8 to 9 minutes, whatever. You let it sit for a while. Thank goodness they have instructions, right? But that's my dinner, noodles and chicken. Okay, so I'm in my tent. Dinner was so good. I loved it. It was that chicken noodle. It was amazing. Way better than MRE's. But it's 7:30 right now, and I was just too tired to be outside anymore. So here's the tent. Got some shirts hanging and stuff. This is a Teton Leaf Zero. And then this is just a cheap padded pillow from, I can't even remember what it's called, Wetzel pillow. I love it. I was told it only got down to 38 last night. 38, 36, I think one other guy said, and then someone else said 32, but this is a 0 degree bag, so I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I do have long johns on, black base wear, and then some wool socks on just in case, but right now I have the whole thing zipped open because it is cooking. But that's day one. Tomorrow I was going to hike out, and I'm staying at Dollar Lake, but tomorrow I was going to hike out and try to see my wife on the way out, so she's not worrying too much about me. But I do not know exactly what time I'll wake up, and I'm not going to set an alarm, so I didn't set an alarm, but I wanted to wake up at about 6:30. Listen carefully. Of course they stop now. Woodpeckers are right next to me. Okay, as I started out away from Dollar Lake, out in the willows, there was a cow, I think a cow calf, but it's hard to tell from this far exactly. They look about the same size, so I don't think I'm right on that. But the sun hasn't quite come up yet. perfect temperature for hiking. So it rained on us last night, just a little. I think it was about 3 little sprinkles, and I am ready to go. Okay, I figured it's time to eat breakfast. I've only been hiking for about a half hour, but I just didn't feel like eating right when I woke up. It's really cool because the shadow of the mountains behind me is clear out there in the middle of the valley right now. Yeah, I have some mountain house breakfasts, but I didn't really feel like them, so. That was a cow-calf pair moose that I saw earlier. They ended up coming closer. I could tell at that point, so. How's it going? Morning. There's a lot of water up here this year. I can't believe how many streams, and like right here, this is where I stopped to eat just because I wanted to make sure I could refill my water. Last year there wasn't even half the water this year, and you can still see all the snow on the mountains. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that, but yep, just eating breakfast and getting ready to pack out. So gosh, it's beautiful out here. All right, so I'm basically back to Elkhorn again, and here's the sign that comes right after the bridge. There's a livestock crossing a little further down the river. How are you? Good. How you doing? Good. But you don't want to take that because you're guaranteed to get your feet wet. But after you come through Elkhorn Crossing, if you take a right, you're going to see this little bridge, and this bridge is where the hikers take usually, but obviously there has to be another crossing for livestock, and that's right up the river, just south of here. So, got a nice little handrail right here, little rope. And then boom, there's a sign I was at yesterday, right there. That's the loop, all the way around Henry's Fork Lake, across the bottom to Dollar Lake, and back to Elkhorn. So I'm actually gonna stop and fill up water, but yep, I'll just show you the sign. It's the same one I started at yesterday, and there. So that's the trail I took yesterday, and that's the one I come in on today. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm on the last little bit. Yeah, I tell you what, this first 5.5 miles up to Elkhorn Ridge, or excuse me, Elkhorn, whatever it's called, it's a lot harder coming out than getting in. I know it's uphill getting in, but it just seems like it's longer coming out. The way I always remember I'm getting out, I'm not an expert, I guess, I've only done this a couple times, but as soon as you start getting on these side hills and it's open to the river, and then when you look through the trees, you'll see that pasture, those willows out there, that open. That's how I always remember I'm almost there. but I mean, I still probably got another half mile, but when you've gone 22, 23 miles or whatever, half mile doesn't seem like that much. So, but here's the trailhead. So as soon as you get to that side hill overlooking that river, it's not even a half a mile. But yep, here we are, back at the trailhead. I just wanted to say a couple things before I call it a hike and say it's all over. Just that anybody can do this. I mean, I always look at people that do this type of stuff and I think, wow, but then I get out there and I just do it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And even if you think, oh man, there's no way I could do that, I guarantee you can. Just got to work up to it. But here is the parking lot. I encourage everyone that watches this to give this a shot. Maybe not this one, but find one that you think is good for you and do it. Cross my name off the registry, say I got in here. The archery elk opened today, and while I was walking, there's a 4-point bull come running right in front of me. I grabbed my phone to get it out, and too bad it was turned off. So there we go. Let's see about this. A lot of people up here, so here we go. I just put finished. I don't know what else to put. But thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Hopefully this encourages you to get out there and find a hike that you want to do. Because if I can do it, anyone can. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I recommend this one especially.